guys, teacher Milena here, and T with me today brings you the IELTS reading session. Today we start understanding what the questions expect from you guys and how you can pay attention to the details and get the bench score that you need. But before we get to it, don't forget to like this channel, share it with your fellow colleagues that are preparing for IELTS, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our weekly videos from now on. Our videos are always on Wednesdays, and today let's get to the IELTS reading session. So, something that you guys have to understand is that IELTS is divided into academic exam or general training exam. Both reading sessions, independent of what kind of IELTS you take, it's going to take 60 minutes, okay? Most of you guys are going to take the academic because that's the one that is used to assess your proficiency level in a wider variety of places, universities, and institutions, okay? So this part has 3 long reading passages with tasks. The texts, they range from descriptive and factual to the discursive and analytical. Non-verbal materials such as diagram, graphs, illustrations, and they are authentic. They are extracted from books, journals, and newspapers. So if you are just used to multiple choice exams, you need to be very careful here, guys, because multiple choice, they are part of the questions you have to deal with, but you have matching questions, you have sentence completion, true, false, and not given, yes, no, not given, and short answer questions. So today we are going to check some of the questions. We are going to deal with it in separate videos so you can have a better understanding and you can practice with them all, okay? So this is the kind of question that asks you to complete the summary, okay? Pay attention that you have a short passage, which is the summary from the passage that you have just read. And what they ask you to do is choose no more than 2 words or choose 1 word only from the passage. Guys, pay attention here. You have to use words that appear on the text. You are not going to dig into anything new. You have to find the words on the passage that you have just read and pay a lot of attention to that specific sentence over there. Choose no more than 2 words. So if they are asking you for no more than 2 words, don't write 3 or 4 words. You have to be very careful with the information they are asking. Some people don't get the points they need in this exercise because they don't pay attention to the amount of words they are allowed to use and to the fact that the words need to be in the passage, okay? So read through the summary carefully to make sure you understand it. So before you get to the text, read the summary in full, understand it. The gap will always need a content word, okay? A content word, never a grammar word. An article, for example, a, an, or the, a quantifier, a pronoun. Content words are adjectives, noun, verbs. Those are the words you are going to use to fill in the gap. Check how many words you need. And the use of both is common in the gap fill. So when they provide a lot of examples in the text and your gap fill question comes with both, it means that you are going to have to look in more than one example. Be careful with that. Both, tan, 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 and tan, tan, tan. That means that you need 2 examples or more depending on the question. So the trick here is understanding the summary, how many words you need to use, and remember, content word, never a grammar word, okay? Not that difficult, but when you take into consideration that this is a summary question, it means that it is summarizing the idea of the text. Recommendation, do all the other questions first, and then you go to the summary question, to the gap filling, because after answering all the other questions and reading the text one time or twice, you may have a deeper understanding, and this understanding may be enough to do this exercise, okay? Again, here we have another exercise, another kind of question that asks you guys to complete, but this is called a flow chart. A flow chart always comes with these dashes, with these arrows pointing out a sequence. A flow chart indicates a summary in sequencing. So again, you have to read the flow chart very, very carefully so you know exactly what kind of information you need. You also need to understand how many words you need to complete the flow chart. And of course, the words belong in the text. They are words from the text. Flowcharts, they summarize the information. So you needed to fill in the gaps with information usually limited to one section of the reading. So a flowchart is different from a summary question because a flowchart focuses on one section of the reading, okay? A group of 1 or 2 paragraphs maybe, or a chart or something specific. Locate the information quickly. Capital letters and numbers may help you with this task because again, flowchart focuses on a limited section of the reading. The gaps will go in the same order as the text. So as soon as you find the information to complete the first line, you already know that the sequence that follows is right there. Use the words that come before the gaps in the flowchart to help you guess what kind of information they want from you. And always, and I'm going to highlight and emphasize this, always check the number of words you are allowed to use. If they tell you no more than 2 words, no more than 3 words, you can complete with 1, 2, or 3 words, but never 4 or 5. Be careful with that because sometimes we get so nervous during an exam that we forget to pay attention to this small detail, and this small detail may cost us a lot of points, okay? General good tips here for these kinds of questions, apart from the matching questions, which we are going to see on the next video. 99.9% of the IELTS reading questions go in the same order as the text. So taking a look at the questions first may be a good idea because the questions follow the sequence of the text. Guys, don't read everything in the text, okay? Use skimming and scanning strategies. You can start by reading the questions and finding a specific information in the text immediately to answer that specific question. The texts are usually long, and if you read them 1, 2, 3 times, you are not going to have time to finish all the questions. If you take into consideration that you have 60 minutes and 3 texts, you have 20 minutes per text. Use these minutes wisely. Mark keywords. All the questions, they have keywords. Keywords indicate specifically synonyms that you can find in the text in order to answer the questions. Spelling and grammar are extremely important for IELTS because you have to write or type the words. Different from a multiple choice question where you have to indicate one letter, which is the correct answer, here you have to write it down. Make sure you are using spelling and grammar correctly. And again, time management. If you spend 35 minutes on the first text, you are not going to finish the reading session. So when you practice for the IELTS reading session, make sure you don't spend more than 20 minutes on each text. That is extremely important to practice managing your time. So on the day of the exam, you don't have to hurry. You are not going to be afraid of not finishing the session that you have ahead. That's it for today, guys. The PDF of this presentation is available on the video description. I have also added 3 reading practices so you can practice. Remember, guys, time management, 20 minutes per text. And every Wednesday, we have new videos on the channel to help you prep for your proficiency exams, IELTS or TOEFL, and also advanced grammar. Don't forget to please like this video, share it with your friends that are preparing for the proficiency exam, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our tips and advanced grammar hacks. So I see you next week, guys. Bye.